Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another amazing Mother's Day dessert cake recipe for you guys. Watch along and I'll be making my strawberry Mother's Day cake. I'm just going to use a type of Neapolitan cake with 3 cake layers: strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. You guys are gonna love it. So let's get started with the chocolate cake layer. So in a large mixing bowl, I'm just gonna add 6 large eggs directly into my mixing bowl, and I brought them into my room temperature. Half a cup of white granulated sugar, and whisk it on high speed for about 10 to 12 minutes until they are light and fluffy and almost white in color. And I like to add just a pinch of sugar vanilla. And this is the right volume of my eggs. Let's get started to the dry ingredients. I have half a cup of all-purpose flour, add a third cup of cocoa powder, and half a tablespoon of baking powder. I'm just going to mix them completely, and then I'm just going to use a fine mist strainer to sieve the flour directly into my eggs. And now I'm just going to use a large spoon and slowly and gently fold that flour and the cocoa powder mixture into my eggs. Now I have added all my flour into my eggs, and I'm ready to bake it in the oven. Today I'm going to be using a 9-inch cake pan, and I lined the bottom with parchment paper, and I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Just going to pour the cake batter directly into my cake pan, and I'm just going to bake it in the oven for about 25 minutes until the top are golden brown, and when you insert a toothpick into the center, it comes out clean. And now my chocolate sponge cake layer is ready now. I'm just going to let it into my room temperature until it's cool completely. While my chocolate cake is cooling, I'm going to get started with my vanilla cake layer. I have 6 large eggs again, add half a cup of white granulated sugar, and whisk it on high heat for about 3 to 4 minutes or 10 to 12 minutes until they're light and fluffy and almost white in color. For the dry ingredients, I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour, add half a tablespoon of baking powder, mix them completely, and do the same thing with the vanilla cake layer. Add the cake flour and sift the cake flour into your eggs, and slowly and gently use a ladle or use a large spoon to fold that flour directly into your eggs mixture. And now I'm ready to bake my vanilla cake layer as the same with the chocolate cake layer. I have a 9-inch cake pan, lined the bottom with parchment paper, and bake it in the oven for about 25 minutes. And now my vanilla cake layer is baked completely. I'm just going to let it into wire rack to cool completely into my room temperature. And meanwhile, I'm going to get started with the strawberry cake layer. It's the same thing, but I'm just going to add some red food coloring. I'm going to add 6 large eggs directly into my mixing bowl and add half a cup of white granulated sugar. And I'm just going to use a mixer to whisk it on high speed for about 10 to 12 minutes until they're light and fluffy. And I'm just going to add just a few drops of pink food coloring to make it a strawberry flavored cake or strawberry color. Now onto my dry ingredients. I have 1 cup of flour and add half a tablespoon of baking powder. Sift the flour into your eggs and gently and thoroughly fold the eggs into your eggs. Just gonna use the same cake pan, line the bottom with parchment paper, and pour in the strawberry cake layer into your cake pan and bake it in the oven for about 25 minutes with 350 degrees Fahrenheit into your oven. My strawberry cake layer is ready now. Yeah. I'm just gonna let it cool completely until I'm ready to frost the cake and decorate the cake. I'm just gonna add some sliced bananas Onto my cake layers, I have some bananas. I'm just gonna add half a tablespoon of lemon juice. And I have 1.5 kilos of the whipped cream frosting. This is a simple heavy cream frosting. You can use any types of frosting that you have at home. So first, I'm just gonna add a little bit of that whipped cream onto my cake stand. I'm just gonna get started with the vanilla cake layer. Just gonna add it. And add a generous amount, just a little bit of that whipped cream onto my vanilla cake layer. And I'm just gonna do the same thing with my bananas. Just gonna add the sliced bananas. I like to add some nuts. This is walnut. I love to chop them and just going to spread them onto my bananas. You can also use pistachios, pecans, or any types of nuts that you have at home. Just going to add the second chocolate cake layer. And do the same thing with another cake layer. And at last, I'm just gonna add the strawberry cake layer. It's amazing. Now with the rest of my whipped cream, I'm just gonna frost the cake and place it into the refrigerator for about 2 or 3 hours until it's set completely and I'm ready to decorate it. Now after 2 or 3 hours, I have transferred my cake into another cake stand. I have melted some dark chocolate and I have added just a little bit of that butter to melt together, mixed it completely for the ganache. So I'm going to spread the chocolate around my cakes. I have made some strawberry or pink colored whipped cream. I'm just gonna make some beautiful dollops on top of my cake, just around the cake.
Evet, payet küçük tane bir ama hemen de
And I like to add some sliced strawberries between the dollops. I have some sugar crystal made and I made it in the balloon, and I'm just going to slice them and just going to decorate just a little bit of that onto my cake stand. Amazing. And to make it brighter, I have some sugar crystal. This is a type of silver sugar glitter for decorating the cake. I'm just going to spread a little bit of that onto my chocolate ganache. I'm just going to mix a little bit of that with the water and decorate the strawberries and the chocolate ganache with it. And that's it, guys, for my strawberry 3 Neapolitan cake layer for my Mother's Day. So hope you guys have enjoyed my today's recipe. Watch along. Don't forget to share with me if you made it. Goodbye and see you next time.